Today we are talking about Venn diagrams. You may have already seen these, but we're going to review them and maybe make them a little bit more challenging for you. A Venn diagram, so go ahead and copy this with me. A Venn diagram is used to show similarities and differences among and between categories. So again, it shows similarities, it also shows differences among and between. And remember, the word between means two, and among can be more than two. So since you guys are doing 7th grade math, we'll probably do more of the among, a little bit of the between, but I just want you guys to be familiar with this. Overlapping sections show characteristics that are shared by the sections. Before we begin, a little bit of vocabulary. First thing is a symbol. It looks like a U. It means union. It includes everything that's in either or both sets. So set 1 and 3, and of course the overlapping part. All of that's included. Intersect only includes things that are in both sets. And that's just the two. That's the overlapping part. So intersecting is the overlapping part. It's the stuff in both sets. The last thing is the complement, and this is things that are not in any sets. You'll often hear these referred to as outliers, but we're going to learn the math term of complement. Notice here, 4 is not in any of those categories. It is the complement of sets 1 and 3. Let's look at our example. So, of the students surveyed, how many played soccer? And right now, you're thinking, Mr. Monroe, you left that completely blank. There's no information at all. That's because I'm going to teach you how to fill this in. So, what you would do is you would label each section. And you would label it like this. I collected data and I found that students really liked volleyball. Volleyball. Go ahead and label this on your notes. Erase that, it's very hard to read. Let me zoom in a little bit to make it a little easier for you. Okay. Volleyball. I'm not very good at volleyball. I think it's due to the fact that I'm only 5.5 feet tall. Alright, soccer. And football. So what we're doing is we're comparing these three categories. And in the volleyball section, I want you to put 6 in this big section. In the soccer, I want you to put 24 in this big section. And in football, put 7 in this big section. And then we're going to look at our overlapping sections. Now, what could this possibly mean? We're going to talk about it. In this section, you see that volleyball overlaps with soccer right here. And there's 12. That means that 12 students play volleyball and they play soccer. Alright, when it's just in the volleyball circle, like this one, this means that only 6 students play volleyball, only 24 play just soccer, but 12 play both volleyball and soccer. Well, how many students play volleyball and football? 3. That goes where it overlaps. So see how it's the top of the football circle and the bottom of the volleyball circle? And then we say, how many students play soccer and football? Well, that's 14 students. Play both soccer and football. And in this last section here in the middle, this is overlapping with all 3 circles. This would be how many students play all 3 of these sports. And there are 32 students that play both of these sports. I really zoomed in so you can see it. So, this is a Venn diagram. And remember when I talked about the complement, or numbers that are outside of a set, outliers? That would be over here. 7 students don't play any of these 3 sports. They can play a different sport. We just know they don't play volleyball, soccer, or football. So let's look at a couple of examples here. Example 1, of the students surveyed, how many played soccer? So to do this, I would highlight just the soccer. We'll say, okay, well, how many students is that? Well, I would add up the 12, the 24, the 14, and the 32. So let's do that. 12 plus 24 plus 14 plus 32. You would just add all those up, and that would be how many students play soccer, because we're doing the entire circle of soccer. I'm not going to add for you. You can do that, and we'll talk about it in class. How many students play soccer and football? Soccer, union, football. What is union again? Let's go up. This is stuff that's included in either or both of the sets, so that's all of it. Soccer and football. So soccer and football, you would look at your soccer and your football numbers, and you would just add them up. I want you guys to try that. See if you can figure that out. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow in class. Only soccer, that would be the people that only play soccer. They don't play any other sport. So that would just be this 24. And only football, well, why don't you try to see? Is there a number that only football? And these other ones right here, 3, true or false, a total of 38 students play football. Well, that's what you would do. You would look and say, okay, well, in the football, is this a total of 38 people? So you would look at all of this. We'll talk about that tomorrow. How many students play volleyball or soccer but not football? All right, so you're playing volleyball or soccer but not football. I mean, you're going to leave football completely out of it and look at volleyball or soccer, right? So that would mean everything that's not in this red circle here that I've created. That's football. Everything else is not football. So look at those numbers. Add them up. 5, how many students do not play volleyball, soccer, or football? Well, that's going to be our outlier. That's going to be our complement. I'm going to put this word here. And I want you to try to figure that out using the notes we've talked about to find that out. And how many students represent V, the little N thing? S, what could that little symbol be? Let's go up. Oh, this is the intersect. So looking at this definition and this example, what do you think? How many students represent V, intersect S? I want you guys to try those, and we'll talk about them in class tomorrow. Have a good time doing this. I expect to see the entire thing filled out for tomorrow. See you later.